In the world of royal commentary, few are as vocal as Tom Bower. Known for his sharp tongue and often controversial takes, Bower has become a polarising figure, especially when it comes to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Recently, Bower has expressed significant dissatisfaction with the Sussexes tour in Nigeria, a journey that caught the eyes of both supporters and critics alike. During this visit, the Sussexes engaged with various cultural and philanthropic activities. However, Bower was quick to point out what he saw as a glaring omission: the lack of mention of King Charles's health and the broader implications for the Commonwealth. According to Bower, this oversight could be perceived as a slight to the royal family and its connections to the Commonwealth nations, of which Nigeria is a prominent member. So, what's really at the heart of Bower's critique? Let's delve deeper. To grasp the full picture, we need to understand the nature of the Nigerian tour. When Prince Harry and Meghan Markle set foot in Nigeria, their visit was steeped not in royal tradition, but in their ongoing commitment as global philanthropists. The couple, independent of the British royal family, embarked on this journey to foster and highlight various humanitarian projects, a testament to their dedication to global welfare and social justice. The essence of their trip was not to represent the British monarchy or to extend the Commonwealth's influence, but rather to engage with local communities and initiatives on a personal and impactful level. This distinction is crucial, as it underscores the Sussexes' transition from their royal duties to more personal, philanthropic endeavours that resonate with their values and public image. During their stay, the reception they received was warm and deeply respectful. Local leaders and citizens alike appreciated their efforts and presence, which culminated in Meghan receiving an honorary title. This title, Ada Mazi of the ancient Arachukwu Kingdom, was bestowed by 4 Nigerian kings, recognizing her influence and contributions. Such a gesture was not just a formality, but a sincere acknowledgement of her and Harry's positive impact on the local communities they engaged with. This title and the accolades that followed were not mere symbols, but reflected a genuine appreciation from the Nigerian people. They saw Meghan not just as a former royal, but as a proactive agent of change, whose efforts alongside Harry were making a real difference in areas such as women's empowerment and youth engagement. Clearly the tour had its own merits, separate from any royal obligations. The focus was on people, on real issues, and on the tangible changes the Sussexes could aid and advocate for. Their visit to Nigeria was a vivid illustration of their commitment to causes that extend far beyond the traditional royal sphere, highlighting their role as modern, global philanthropists. How does the royal connection play into public perception? The Sussexes' recent tour in Nigeria stirred quite the pot, capturing both public and media attention on a grand scale. While Harry and Meghan have officially stepped back from their roles as senior royals, their every move still seems to resonate with royal undertones, sparking discussions and debates far and wide. During their visit, the couple was received with the pomp and circumstance typically reserved for members of a royal family. This reception by the Nigerian public and officials highlighted how, despite their non-royal status, the Sussexes are still perceived through a royal lens. Media outlets and royal enthusiasts dissected their every gesture, comparing it to traditional royal tours, analysing their interactions, and scrutinising their speeches as if they were still on duty for the British Crown. Interestingly, the Sussexes themselves maintained a clear narrative throughout their visit. Their focus was on philanthropy and supporting communities, not on performing royal duties. They engaged with local leaders, participated in community projects, and highlighted important social issues. Yet, despite these clear intentions, the shadow of their royal past loomed large, colouring public perception and media portrayal of their actions. This scenario brings to light the broader implications of their royal status in their post-royal work. While Harry and Meghan aim to carve out a new identity as global philanthropists, the public and the press often cling to their royal connections, blurring the lines between their past responsibilities and current endeavours. This entanglement raises questions about the possibility of truly stepping away from royal expectations and crafting an independent path. The line between royal duties and personal philanthropy seems to blur in public eyes. The ongoing fascination with their royal past continues to shape how their actions are interpreted, often overshadowing their efforts to make a difference as private citizens. This interplay between past and present roles challenges the narrative they strive to create, revealing the complex dynamics at play in their new life chapters. Tom Bower has his opinions, but how do they stack up against the Sussexes' actions? Tom Bower, a figure often vocal about his critiques on the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, has expressed considerable dismay over their recent tour in Nigeria. Bower's contention largely revolves around what he perceives as a neglect of mentioning King Charles's health and the Commonwealth's significance during the tour. However, a closer inspection of the tour's events and the Sussexes' engagements reveals a different narrative. During their visit, the Sussexes focused on cultural exchanges and charitable activities, aligning with their roles as global philanthropists rather than representatives of the British monarchy. This approach highlights a stark contrast between Bower's expectations and the Sussexes' actual agenda. If Harry and Meghan had indeed brought up the Commonwealth or extended well wishes to King Charles, it's plausible to argue that Bower would have critiqued them for overstepping their non-royal boundaries. It seems that the Sussexes were in a precarious position where any mention of royal connections might have been construed as overreaching. Evaluating the fairness of Bower's criticisms requires understanding his possible motivations. His focus on the Sussexes, often with a negative slant, might suggest a deeper bias or an attempt to appeal to certain segments of the public and media who are less favourable towards Meghan and Harry. His critiques often do not seem to accommodate the couple's current independent status and their efforts to carve out a philanthropic niche separate from their royal ties. Moreover, the reaction to their actions, whether they align with royal protocol or not, often receives disproportionate scrutiny compared to their actual impact on the ground. The emphasis on their failure to mention the Commonwealth or the King's health overlooks the broader achievements of their tour, such as fostering international goodwill and highlighting important social issues. Is Bower's discontent rooted in misunderstanding, or is there more to uncover? The evidence suggests that his criticisms might not entirely grasp the nuanced position the Sussexes occupy in the public eye, straddling the line between their royal heritage and their personal humanitarian ambitions. Titles often carry weight, but what do they truly signify in this context? In the grand tapestry of royal narratives and public fascination, titles have always held a significant allure. They evoke images of history, power, and a connection to traditions that span centuries. But in our contemporary world, where boundaries are increasingly blurred by global interactions, the significance of these titles can be both symbolic and substantial. Let's delve into the moment Meghan was honoured with a local title during her visit to Nigeria. Dubbed Ada Marzi of the ancient Arachuku kingdom, this title is not merely a ceremonial gesture. It represents a profound recognition and respect from the local communities, acknowledging her influence and engagement in a meaningful way. This act of conferment goes beyond the glitter of royalty. It's a bridge built on respect and mutual appreciation between diverse cultures. Contrast this with Tom Bower's rigid perspective on true royalty. Bower, a critic often vocal about his disdain for deviations from traditional royal paths, seems to hold a narrow view of what constitutes legitimacy in the royal sphere. He questions the authenticity of Meghan's Nigerian title, perhaps unable to see that influence and respect in today's world are no longer monopolised by traditional Western royalty. His viewpoint starkly contrasts with the global perception that values inclusivity and the ability to impact lives positively, irrespective of geographical or traditional boundaries. Furthermore, the impact of titles on identity and credibility in international settings cannot be understated. When Meghan received her Nigerian title, it wasn't just a personal honour. It was a testament to the evolving role of public figures on the global stage, a shift from inherited status to earned respect through active humanitarian and cultural engagement. This evolution shows that titles, while rooted in history, are adaptable and can confer legitimacy and respect in ways that resonate across different societies. Titles may be symbolic, but their impact on international respect and recognition is undeniable. As we wrap up, let's reflect on the complex interplay of royalty, identity, and philanthropy. Throughout our discussion, we've explored Tom Bower's critical perspective on the Sussexes' tour in Nigeria, contrasted sharply against the actions and intentions of Harry and Meghan themselves. While Bower focused heavily on the lack of mention of King Charles's health and other royal connections, the Sussexes embraced their roles as global philanthropists, independent of the British royal family. It's crucial to analyse not just the narrative presented, but also the lens through which it's viewed. The media often has its own agenda, colouring the way events and personalities are portrayed. This invites us, the viewers, to engage in a more nuanced examination of what is reported versus what might actually be happening. I encourage you to dive deeper, think critically about the sources of these royal critiques, and consider the broader context of each reported event. Share your insights and continue this intriguing discussion in the comments below. Thank you everyone for watching the video. Show some love by subscribing and sharing the video. Remember to leave a comment. Thank you, I am your loyal host, Kelly.